Good morning and welcome to WriterGreg on twitch.tv. Happy time zone, everyone. I said oops, not poops. I forgot to mute my microphone when the computer turned on. Oops. Yeah. All right, glad everyone is here and we are ready to go for the day. Hope everyone had a jolly winter solstice and is looking forward to the Christmas holiday in a couple of days. We are getting close to the end, that is for sure. So let's get into the thought of the day. Okay. I don't know what game this is or where it came from, but people who say no pun intended are cowards. Intend your puns, weaklings. I just thought this was funny. The reason why I think it is funny is because of the strong character choice that is being made by this character, Hannah. If you think about it, how serious does a person need to be to have an opinion about the use of puns? And how, this has dad vibe completely over it, dad jokes and all of this stuff. But I hope that when you make choices for your characters, you make them intentionally and you make them fiercely. And that doesn't mean your characters need to be fierce. That just means that your characters need to have something to be memorable about, to drive their character. Because as this Hannah character, I think that's a hilt of a sword that I'm seeing there. And so it's so crafty, so welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. So this is okay. So when we're talking about the characters that we're developing, we need to make sure that they are vibrant. They are vibrant. They are intentional, and they give an impact to the reader. We only have words to be able to describe that. But also, how do we describe them? Look at this. This example here is through action. This is definitely a showing, not a telling, of Hannah's character. And glad that you found me too as well, Crafty. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, is make your characters slightly over the top, or near the top as possible as you can, because that way they can be memorable. It informs your choices. If they make disasters, make them big. If they make mistakes, make them big so that they have something so that they can then overcome. So yeah, this is just a lot of fun. Okay, so, and as the dad joke and the puns, I just love this. All right, so if you would like to have this meme in your collection, feel free to visit the Orchard, which is my Discord server, and you just can use command Discord, which is the !discord in chat, and then you will be able. The buns have it. Indeed, character opinions and arguments truly show a character's depth and makes them relatable. Very true. And yeah, very true. All right, so there is the alarm for our first writing sprint of the morning. So let's get to it. I'll deal with that in a second. Puns. I was trying to make a puns. Sorry, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. All right. All right, the clock timer. Hey, Hanzo, welcome back. Good to have you. All right, the timer has been set. Let's turn up the music. Of course, we turn up the music as soon as it's between songs. Let's turn off the microphone, and I will see you in 10. All right, there we go. The sprint is over. Make sure that you save your work and get it recorded. Alt-Tab, my favorite computer feature of all time. All right, just getting this recorded. Oh, come on. I hate it when I forget to turn off Dragon Naturally Speaking, and so it starts dictating all of those words, pops it up in an extra one. All right, so I started a new scene off today, and I wrote 155 words. All right, so there we go. All right, let's check out some of the chat. Would people know what a tertiary process is? Yes, I know what a tertiary process, but I would highly recommend that if you do use the word tertiary, you only have it done after primary, secondary, then tertiary. So even those people who don't understand the word tertiary can still infer the meaning. Yes, P2 Putu, I do start streaming at 5 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, and I start streaming at 5 so that I can get the 2 hours in before my children need to wake up and get them ready for school. However, there is no school this week because of the holidays, but I'm here because of habit and to make sure that I'm consistent. And I have a very, very early bedtime. So Crafty, you said, is there a way to see the documents in the background? Hard to see. Yes, this is kind of hard to see because these are the documents that I'm using to write. And this, for example, this document here, I try to be in bed before 9 o'clock every night. Not too bad. So, yeah. Crafty, this is World Anvil. This is a website platform that I use to create my fiction outlines. I am the most outliningly outlier who has ever outlined. And so here is the information that I have for my scene. And then here are the plot points. And now that I've planned out and I've plotted all of the different things, I can now just easily go in here and write it. So it's not really intended to be read on the screen here, but but just so that I'm active, you see what I'm doing. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask questions, but this time is a time for your collaboration. Oh, Crafty, you're back. And I just answered your question. I'm sorry. These are my notes. Yeah, these are my notes. So, I mean, I can zoom in. Oh, you lost internet. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, these are my notes. They're not really meant to be seen by the general audience who's watching. It allows me to write my fiction. So feel free to ignore what's on the screen and work on your own fiction during the sprinting process. And if you do have questions, feel free to ask as you did, and I'll get to the questions in the middle of the breaks. But we have already had that alarm, and we have a song that we'll do in the next sprint. Sorry, James. We will get to that. I thought, this is Dragon Naturally Speaking. This is the Dragon Pad. I use Dragon Naturally Speaking to dictate all of my words. because I don't want to type. So, yeah, let's get ready to go. So let's turn the music back up. We'll start the timer. All right, timer's going, music is up, microphone's off. Sprint! I will see you in 10. All right, there we go. Let's get these words recorded over here. Okay, so we paste the words in, and we went from 155 to 340, and so all right, 185 words in that sprint. Cool. All right, now, all right, we have a Sing Noel motivation. Let me turn off the music so I can pull up the lyrics and redeem my debt. And so, thanks, James. Main screen. Okay. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Let's go to the camera. Transition. All right. In my own version, which means freestyle. Now, for those of you about to experience this freestyling, I do hope you realize that I am the most outlining of outliners who'd ever outlined, and freestyling is not my strength, because if it was, I would discovery write. Okay, so God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on a Christmas day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. In Bethlehem in Israel the blessed babe was born, and laid within a manger upon that blessed morn. The which his mother Mary did nothing take in scorn. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. There you go. Merry Christmas. All right, hope you like that. Let's get the real music back on. Okay, and it's time for another sprint. All right, let's do that. Let's mark that as complete. Let's change back to our working station and get the timer going. Oh, thanks, James. We're all good. We're all in this together. If I can bring a little bit of cheery and Christmas spirit, despite my lack of vocal training. Good fun. That's right. Good fun. All right, let's turn the music up. We'll turn the microphone off, and I will see you in 10. All right, just had to finish off the finish off that. What was your question, Crafty? If you could retype it, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, feel free to join the Discord where you can post your questions in the live stream discussion, and they're less likely to be. Oh, the document on the left. Yeah, I can take you through that. Okay, let me just take care of these words here. Okay, I'll move that over to. Okay, so we started off at 340, and you can see down here at the bottom. That way you can see that it has how many words that are our total. So I can just type that in, and using this spreadsheet I can see how many words I do. Maybe not, James. I think I got it. Okay, so to explain the document on the left is this. This is an article that I wrote on the World Anvil platform. And this is a part of my Saga Dorm world. And what I have here, and this is, think of it as a wiki, a Wikipedia that I've created about a fictional world that has all of these articles, plots, details that I have been building about my fictional world. And now I am going in here. So I have a short story, and I can take a look at this short story. And it's a short story. I'm in the editing phase. Here's my main character lists. Here's its areas. Here is an order of the stuff. And here are all the articles related to this story. And one of these articles is, of course, the scene sequel information for The Ranger's Revenge, which is the title of the short story. It is sequel number 5 because I use scene sequel methodology, and it's titled The Aftermath. To properly plan a scene is to go through these 14 different steps. And if you would like to read more details about my 14 steps to a stronger scene that explains that page, you can visit my website at this link right here. And this will go through all of the 14 steps that you can go in and create a much stronger scene. And I am practicing what I preach, because where did it go? Because this is my answers to all of those questions. And yeah, and so that when I'm done with that, I'll just go on to scene number 6 and repeat the process until I'm through with the story. Okay, so yeah, there's all of the 18 plot points for the next one. And so when I am writing, I am an outliner. And so now I was able just to talk about, okay, I'm going to talk about sentence 4. Okay, I'm going to talk about sentence 5. And that way I can get the prose in. I don't have to, yes, I have the goal of Philip shares his reaction to the night's events to the Lynx. The Lynx invites Philip to go with him to continue being his stooge or puppet. And the decision he made was he's deciding to stay in Rickenwacken, which is the fictional country where this goes. And then, Philip, here's the article on Philip, here's the article on Lynx, and here's the article on Nestor Viktorov, and here's an article on the Witterzemlian embassy. Yes, Crafty, yes. Please stay tuned. Join the Discord. I am planning on having a lessons learned workshop, and I am going to go through, my sorry, this scene, this sprint might be skipped depending on how long it takes to explain this. I am going to go through my entire process from October and November and a little bit of December from NaNoWriMo, explaining everything that I did from initial concept to the completed NaNoWriMo novel with this entire process. And so that way you will be, I'm in process of this. It's a little bit in planning, and then everyone, it'll take a couple hours. It'll probably be on a Saturday, but that is something that I'm working on in going forward. Yes. And I would put that on, and there's going to be, I'm already working, well, let me show you. Let's see, where am I? Where? Come on, where are you? My dream. No. Projects. Oh, maybe it's in here. No. Okay, training? Is it under training? No. Presentations. Yeah. So this is my Snowflakes, Dragons, and Twitch, oh my. That's the title of the presentation. A lessons learned analysis of the 2020 NaNoWriMo experience using the Snowflake method, dictating with Dragon naturally speaking, and streaming the whole process live on Twitch. So this is my outline that I've already started to work on. And so once I get this completed, I get the slides, I get everything set up, it is going to be an entire workshop that everyone will be able to watch live for free on Twitch, and then I'll put it on YouTube afterwards. But I'm definitely giving yes, I will give ample warning. Definitely. But you got to be on the Discord server. Well, it's not going to be so much of a... This is going to help you get ideas and help you flesh out ideas for your next story. So there isn't going to be a lot of stuff in there. Thank you, James, for putting your question in the Discord. Let me get to that right now. So anyway, that is the plans that I have. So, but I still need to do it. Okay, James's question. If I'm writing about the process of cutting a tree down and it has fallen down, at this point, can I say what is happening? Meanwhile, if it matters later on, like while the tree was being limbed, sending a horse comes pulling a portable sawmill along with the operator. They will set the sawmill up for the next process. Yes. Yeah, that works. When you're describing a process, you need to, and this is more of a technical writing thing, you need to describe the actors, because you have a process and you have actors, and that's a technical, in the software development world, when you're studying use cases, you need to think about, you have your process and you have your actors, and you have your results. So you say, okay, this is the process, this is the input, the fallen tree. This is the actor. The actor is the lumberjack, what they're doing, and the output is having a tree ready to go. Then you go to, and then the next actor is the sawmill operator. He has to prepare it, he has to bring it and using it. So going through the actor process, going through the process that you're describing, I think it will be really well. But of course, after you've written it, and you can get an article showcase, and we can review the article together. Oh, sure. Okay. I mean, what we need to have with us for the workshop, probably just notebook and pen. Yep. Maybe things we can read in advance to make the most. Sure, I will let you know everything you need to know. Yes, Magic. Yeah, it's going to be good. Okay. Thank you. No, you're not being an impatient child, James. It's just sometimes it's hard to get everything in 5 minutes. And so I'm glad to be able to skip this sprint to be able to kind of catch up, because I want to be able to answer questions. I want to be able to be a resource. And sometimes it takes more than 5 minutes between sprints to be able to do that. Okay. So, one thing I didn't talk about yesterday. I now have a link tree. I set up a link tree for me, and what this is a link to all of my socials, and you'll notice one of the chats that automatically is put in there by Streamlabs into the chat is a link to my link tree, and this is to my main website, the Discord server, Wattpad, an archive of our own for my free fiction, and MeWe, Parler, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. Those are the different social networks that I post on. So not only will I let everybody know about what's going on with thank you, Author Goddess. So not only everyone can know what's going on in the Discord, but also you can receive these notifications on the social platform of your choice. And guaranteed, I will be doing a lot of planning for the next year. I am taking a week and a half off for Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year's, I am taking that time off to be with my family, but guaranteed I will be working a lot on ideas for next year, like this workshop, like goals, like how can I be of a better service to the writing community here on Twitch and things of that nature. So I have a lot of plans. I hope. Okay, all right, P2Putu, yeah, it automatically just popped. Please follow WriterGreg on social media. Links at writergreg.com/social or linktr.ee/WriterGreg. So, yeah. And honestly, I set up a link tree so no one else could steal my username as well. All right, so there we go. Author Goddess, cheers and welcome. That was delicious. Chilled water, the best beverage ever. Kilpis? Keepus? I don't know that word. Keepus. Oh, Finnish for cheers. Ah, keepus. Oh, and yes, James, thank you for putting that thing about Salty West. I will be gaming with my son. I'll be getting that set up and having some fun stuff with that. And so anyone who wants to see me, a different side of Greg in playing Minecraft or other things, yep, I'll be doing that too. On Salty West. Okay. All right, so we have about 3 minutes. Thank you for indulging me while I took that sprint to do a lot of housekeeping. And so so this is my Salty West channel. And I really do like the picture that I have here in the back. I mean, I'm kind of, oh, it's not there. Not poop. Oh well. Minecraft. I am not a first-person shooter gamer. I like Minecraft. I like games that are strategy-based. And so when I call survival gaming, I just mean I am not going to be playing Assassin's Creed. I'm not going to be playing what's the big one that just had all those problems? 2077 Cyberpunk. You won't see me playing stuff like that. Exactly. James. Yeah. Yes, thank you. I had that brain fart. Okay. But, it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. All right. And, and Crafty, you're going to find that this is a great community of wonderful people here in the chat that cultivation simulator. Oh, interesting. Oh, a farming simulator. I would do a farming simulator. I would, yeah. Okay, there's the alarm. Back to work, people. Okay, let's turn on the alarm. All right, so there is the timer. Let's get back to writing. Yep, that's exactly right. See you in 10. Music up, microphone off. See you soon. All right, there is the end of that sprint. Make sure that you save your works, count it up, all that. So, and I'm lucky, whenever I paste it in here, it automatically saves. So I do appreciate the save checks, but make sure everyone gets in there. So, oh, Dazzlecat, you've redeemed an article. Okay, let me take care of this. 563709. I've actually had a pretty good morning today. Oh wait, I actually didn't. Let me 563709. I didn't do that one. Okay. And my little scratch note, welcome. Thank you so much for coming by. And yep, I do love this music. Let's see. Anything I miss in the chat? All right, there we go. Okay, so for those of you who may not be familiar with this is the December is the World Ember World Building Challenge, and we will review Dazzlecat's article. So let me go in here and stop the music, and we'll just get into the article review. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Well, let's get an overview of the whole. Okay, so we have the sidebar. We have an excerpt here. Aw, cute puppy. This is, a species. Sorry for the zooming in, zooming out. I hope I'm not giving anyone a headache. I'm going to read the side article first, just so that any questions I may have when we're going through the narrative. Oh, I mean, come on. That is the most adorable looking thing. A gur is a dog renowned for its magical bark. Okay. It stands 2.5 feet at the shoulder and has a body length of 3 feet. Its body is deep and thickly muscled. A short coat of black and dark gold striped fur covers their bodies, except for their faces, which is a black mask. These dogs can outweigh most men. That's a pretty stout dog. And stout and dense. Their heads are broad and massive, but with a wrinkled forehead and face that gives them an alert yet friendly expression. Gurs are patient and lovable. Being wary of strangers, they make excellent guards who are eternally loyal, and they are truly eternal. A gur does not grow old, but they can be killed, though it is very difficult. When a gur is so badly injured that it is near death, it reverts to a statue of solid granite. Chipping away the stone or breaking off a piece is the only visual effect that corrects itself every few minutes. Okay, so let's turn. All right, we got that. Let me turn on the timer. All right. Okay, so let me. Chipping away the stone or breaking off a piece is the only visual effect that corrects itself every few minutes. One single blow, shattering the granite statue into many pieces, can destroy it, thus killing the gur. Okay. Gurs are also very intelligent. They can understand several languages but cannot speak them, as their vocal abilities are limited to that of a dog. This leads most folk to never realizing a gur is more than an animal, something they use to their advantage. Okay, so when you okay, once fully, well, I'll hold off. Once fully grown, a gur no longer needs to eat, but those who bond with the gur continue to do so to keep their beloved gur happy. A gur also does not need to breathe and can travel through any terrain, even underwater or through poisonous fumes. They do, however, need air for their thunder bark, a magical attack. This attack is a loud bark that creates a wave of sound that can knock back enemies while hitting them with damaging sound. Okay, first of all, this is a fun little creature that you have here. I like Gurs already. Questions though. Um, I would probably, okay, this first paragraph you hear, let's talk about the purpose of a paragraph. A paragraph contains information on a specific subject. Here you have multiple subjects that you're talking about. First of all, you are talking about the physical descriptions here, and then you were talking about their let me change colors. Then here you are talking about their loyalty, and then you're talking about them being, being killed. So I would probably, um, break this up. But see, then you break off intelligence into its own paragraph. This is what I like. You have intelligence, it's in its own paragraph. I think you should break this first paragraph into at least two. You have the physical description, and then you have the death description. So I would probably, um, I would probably, and then think of an order. The order in which you put an article should make a logical order. You can take it from birth until death, so that you could talk about the physical, then you could talk about the intelligence, then you can talk about the interactions with humans, okay, and then you can talk about death. That's the life cycle of the GER, so you could go through the life cycle and organize your information that way. So people who want to know about early, you could even add the bonding experience in there. How does one earn the eternal loyalty of a GER? That would be at the beginning, that would be up at the top because that's early in the life cycle, whereas lower, you could then talk about, and the attacks. The attacks would probably be up a little bit higher than the death. And I am a little curious about this. When you say that they're eternal, can they come back from the state of being in the granite? Because when you're saying it's an eternal animal, you mean it's eternal in the nature that it turns into stone, or does it mean it's eternal as in that it can be reborn like a phoenix, but instead of with fire, it's with stone? See, that's the kind of conflicting thing that's not making sense in my brain. You call it truly eternal, but then it's a statue. So I like how you explained that you can, it can be killed. That's good. That's good information. But what makes it eternal? I mean, eternity is a statue. Well, it's still kind of dead. So all dogs look adorable. Take 2 alignment steps down to chaotic evil. Yeah, all dogs are All dogs are cute. Okay, so those are my thoughts about the description. If the statue form is put back together, it can come back, usually very angry. Ah, see, that's some cool information that you could then, after you have the description of the death, then you can talk about how to resurrect it and all of the implications of it. To whom is it mad? You know, it does. Is it intelligent? And of course, it's intelligence. But when you say it's intelligent, I'd like to have a comparison um, of like a dolphin intelligence or human intelligence, and then a child or an adult. How intelligent? And is that a secret they keep? Because most folk never realize it, how intelligent a gur is. And I would, dogs have I've learned something this past year with my own dog. The first time I've had a dog this year, they have quite the vocal range. And we are getting to understand his different tones. So I would, uh, can gurs help with math homework? Paw one, how many times, tap on the table. Okay, so let's get back up to this in our time remaining. Such a shame for the lad to leave his keel boat all empty, a rough-looking riverman thought to himself as he stared at the keel boat. It sat there with its colorfully striped tent walls rolled down and tied into place, covering the deck between mast and cabin, providing the crew a nice place for sleeping when they were aboard, and no one was. He had seen them all get off with one of their two dogs. Why would anyone with a keelboat keep two really big dogs as mascots? Sure, they looked big and bad, but they were only dogs. Okay. The riverman licked his lips with a grin as he drew his cutlass. His blade had seen better days, as it had nicks and more than one rusty spot, but he kept the blade sharp. The fools were about to lose one of their mascots as well as their boat. He put away the cutlass. It was time to get himself a fine keel boat. It's almost like I know spoilers because I read the other stuff. Laughing under his breath, the riverman walked along the dock to the keel boat. No one paid him any notice. That was how things were on the docks. No one cared about anything other than their own boat, and it was how he expected to get away with stealing the boat in broad daylight. Looking up and down the dock, he did not see any of the keelboat's crew. Drawing his cutlass, in case the dog got all mean, he stepped onto the keelboat. He almost groaned in pleasure at the strong, sturdy wood of the deck beneath his feet. No half-rotted, leaky, near-to-sinking boat here. A growl came from the tied-open front flaps of the deck tent, and he turned. There stood the other dog. Its black and gold striped black back fur bristled, and its fangs showed starkly white against its big, wide head, whose face was a black mask. The riverman crouched, bringing his cutlass to the ready. Time to die, you slobbering cur. He sneered at the dog. The big dog looked him in the eye. Woof! With that single loud bark, the air slammed into the riverman. His ribs cracked as if he was hurtled off the deck and into the stern of the keelboat moored ahead of the Gosling. Dazed and near unconscious, the riverman fell into the water, which shocked him back to his senses. Sputtering and floundering, he managed to swim away under the dock and to shore, where he climbed out. Yes. Good article, good article. The dog looked at the cutlass lying on the deck. With a disdainful snip, he picked up the cutlass and dropped it over the side with a little splash. He gave himself a shake and went back under the deck tent to lay down on his blanket and contentedly chew on his bone. Okay, fun. That is a fun little article there. It's a little wordy. I would tighten up the descriptions a little bit. He put away his cutlass. He got out his cutlass. He put away his cutlass. He got out the cutlass again. If he, this riverman that you have, he obviously has no clue what kind of a dog that is. This is good, but he knows that there's a dog. He wouldn't put his cutlass away until he knew that the dog and all threats had been dealt with. Because if he knew he was coming on board to kill a dog and steal a boat, he would have never put his cutlass away. And also, have you ever broken a rib? I've broken a rib. It hurts. If you have that kind of thing and I only broke one rib. That man is not going to breathe for a while or breathe well. So for him he's going to have a really hard time swimming back to shore. But I love how the dog looked at the cutlass and went back to his bone. I mean, the story flows. It's a little bit wordy, like keelboat. Here you have keelboat, then keelboat, then keelboat. I know that it's all about stealing a keelboat, but you may want to, like I said, tighten it. But all in all, fun article, very creative, cute dog. Handsome dog? I don't know. So very good. Very good. All right. Now, okay, so Author Goddess now has a article. Let me go back here. Hey, Author Goddess. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I don't know, James. I think it's just tying up a horse. I don't know if there is one. Okay. Detective Brett Adams. This is a person. Okay. Now, anyone out here, this, oh, oh yeah, hobble a horse, but that's very much a different thing. Oh yeah, it is called a hitching post. Yeah, you could hitch your horse to a post. Okay, let's take a look at this. Thin, graying hair slicked at an uneven part. Okay, men, all the men in the audience, you must understand this right here. Please never do this. Okay, this should never happen. Come on, no, you should. Okay, the tip of your tie should always go and cover your belt buckle. Okay, dismiss. Let me turn on, oh, come on. Gotta turn off the drawer. Okay, let's start the sprint. So, just so you know, when you tie a tie, you should never, unless going for comedic effect, you should never have this. Your tie goes to cover, the tip of your tie covers your belt buckle. Just saying. Please. Men don't let men wear ties wrong. But see, that's why I'm immediately laughing, because you know instantly what kind of a character this is. You know, the pot belly, the tie that doesn't match, the suspenders, you know, the yeah. Okay. Freeze! Put your hands where I can see them. A slightly sweaty, middle aged man dressed in a cheap charcoal gray suit stepped into Nicola's field of vision. This guy screamed detective with his crooked tie and spare tire belly. He held out his badge in his offhand, but the gun in his right hand is what held her attention and made her throat dry up. Okay, good. Yep, well, well described. Well described. A gritty detective, world weary but with a hero's heart, if you can find it underneath all the bitter skepticism. That's Detective Brett Ames. Um, I may be wrong about, I'm not sure the dash, because you have a parenthetical phrase here that you started off with a comma. And I think when you have a parenthetical phrase like that, how you start and how you end it should be the same. I'm not very good. I don't know the rules of dashes very well. I don't use them often, but I think you either start and end with a dash, or you start and end with a paragraph, depending at the level of offset that you want to have. Again, I'm not sure about the dashes, but um, and then also you should phrase your sentence that if you remove the parenthetical, it still makes sense. A gritty detective, if you can find it underneath all the bitter skepticism. That doesn't flow as a sentence if you have taken out the parenthetical. So, um, right. You could say a gritty detective, or something. I'm not sure how to fix it, but in generally speaking, you should be able to read it without. Um, you should be able to read a sentence and it makes sense. It isn't a parenthetical phrase; it's a dependent prepositional phrase. Oh, okay. A dependent prepositional phrase. But world weary isn't a preposition. It's an adjective. Anyway, I'll keep going. Um, Ames is bitter because he has worked hard in a thankless job but keeps getting passed over for promotions. Younger cops with fewer scruples do the brown nosing thing, and Ames' dogged adherence to his personal honor code isn't very endearing to the bosses. If if is the preposition, you are right though. The first sentence is incomplete. Okay. I wrote it as conversational, not proper. And that's a good point. The You can disregard many of the rules of grammar depending on the tone of the person, but my personal opinion, and everyone's mileage may vary, I would rather go more towards the proper, especially in this part of the article. That's the nonfiction part of the article. I think it would work better to have a slightly more proper adherence to the grammar. But yeah, but if that's the tone that you're going for, yeah, I can make that make sense. Okay, maybe they feel threatened by his dented and dull, but still white under the soot armor. I love the description there. Dented and dull, but still white under the soot armor. I like the visual that is giving, that this man has a heart of gold, but it's been dinged up. I like the visual that portrays there. And, the brown nosing thing. That's a good description. Okay, Ames could have gotten his precious promotion years ago, but it hinged on solving a big publicity case. Now, no one says evidence was or was not planted to make the charges stick. However, Ames refused to be the one to bend the rules, even for something so important. He lost a few friends over that. In fact, most of the department steers clear of Ames due to his by-the-book lawfulness. He seldom bends any rules, and he almost never breaks them. Of course, lying on a report is technically breaking the rules, but Ames is smart enough to know that putting Demon and Valkyrie battle on a police report wasn't going to do anyone any good at all. Okay. Okay. Precious. You're calling his precious promotion. So that to me says he still wants it. Is that I'm guessing that's true. He still struggles for it. He still wants it, but he's bitter. The bitter skepticism is because he never gets it. But precious is a really good word, and I like the alliteration of precious promotion, and that does carry a lot of weight. And I want to make sure that the intended weight that you're giving it is the intent, because I think it's a really good way to describe his character. But the bitter skepticism and the precious promotion, I just want to make sure that those are it does provide good clarity on what the character is and about. I just want to make sure that that's intentional, because I think it is a good description. I'm not sure I can call Detective Ames a friend. He's certainly an ally, though. Sure, he spent most of the time trying to bust me for anything he could, but that was just because he was convinced I was killing people. It made sense at the time. Anyway, I'm not sure why, but I'm positive that he's about as far from a dirty cop as you can get and still be a cop. That didn't sound complimentary as I intended. Well, I trust him to keep our secrets, so there's that. Nicola Crandall. Okay, this paragraph really does give a little bit of Nicola's attitude. The attitude that I'm picking up is that she assumes all cops are dirty. As far from being a dirty cop as you can get and still be a cop. That to me tells me that Nicola thinks that all cops are dirty, and Ames is the exception because he's clean. But he's as far from a dirty cop. That doesn't mean he's not dirty. He's just far from being dirty. And that's the vibe I'm getting from Nicola. If that's intentional, awesome, because that's I'm picking up a heavy disdain and distrust, even though she's trying to compliment Detective Ames in a very roundabout way. Okay, good. Perhaps the powers that be in the department have realized that Ames' experience has him uniquely qualified to run a new division, Special Research Investigations, which focuses on odd cases where specialized talents and unusual research may be required. He got his first real taste of that when he helped Hound Dog with a strange problem in London. Mental characteristics, personal history. Detective Ames has spent most of his career floundering in mediocrity. He is good enough he is a good enough police detective, but his ambition does not extend to the social maneuvering and drive to close a case, whatever it takes. But his ambition does not extend to the social maneuvering and drive to close the case. Oh, so he leaves a lot of cases open and he doesn't resolve things. Okay. After his actions with Nicola and her encounter with Keith, Ludlow, and Bob, someone noticed the way he handled the entire situation, perhaps with more understanding than should be expected. He won't close a case just to close it. Okay. Okay. Now, Ames has been promoted to the lead of a sub-department of one. Love that. Oh, yes. That is cool. A sub-department of one. Yes, love that. As the only detective in the SRI, he was sent to London for cross-training in their special investigations department. Ames speculates that the reason he got the promotion was more because no one else wanted to get shipped off to the UK for a boring training. The boring training, however, quickly turned into an on-the-job experience with the neo-Nazi occult group. Wow. Okay. Um, the something that I try to avoid is a boring training. The boring training. Using two phrases like that so closely together feels heavy and repetitive because it is repetitive. If you're going to use the same phrase, I would try to keep them separated more. Um, because you've described it as boring training here, you don't need to describe it as training here, boring here. You don't need to. We under we got we got that it was boring in the first place, and that will tight. That's what I mean by tightening things up. Hygiene. Mediocre at best. He is often found wearing a suit that is more rumpled than not. He has a dismaying tendency to spill food on his shirt or tie. He also buys cheap suits, so they fit poorly and are usually in some state of fraying on the hems. Um, I don't know if I would describe that as hygiene. That is definitely his attire. Hygiene, hygiene, I would think, is he smelly? Yes, he has a tendency to spill food, but does he leave it there? Um, Bad hygiene means like he doesn't wash his hands, he leaves the food stains. Um, sure, he doesn't, you know, I just don't think hygiene and how one carries themselves. I think that you're labeling this as hygiene, but then you're talking about his mannerisms. How coiffed is he? Right. Yeah, yeah. His hair, his teeth, his goatee. You haven't mentioned the goatee, but it's there. Obviously, he doesn't have the best of diet, but does he keep his nails trimmed? Does he make the effort to that? Because hygiene is more than just his clothing. So I think you could get more into the description of what he's like than just describing his clothes. Um, Coiffed. Okay. Contacts and relationships. Ames has a niece, Lupe, who is one of the unforgettable women caught up with the hand of that word healing center. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Quaff, verb, past tense. Quaffed, past participle. Okay. Yeah. Oh, how style or arranging someone's hair. Okay. I don't, Hair? What hair? You think I know terms about dealing with hair? All right. Species: human, heterosexual, cis male, thin. I think you got an extra T in thin. Graying hair slicked into an uneven part. Okay, see that's good right there. That's a part of your hygiene that he doesn't take care. Um, he doesn't care with it. And also, when you're talking about thinned hair, something I know about, um, is it thinning at the part? Do you have? Is it a front? Is it a center? You know, because those are the two, or is it both that you're talking about? I notice hair, and as much as it's out of place or Wimstat. Other than that, eh. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, I love the visual that you have here, um, and especially where you have the looking up and the yelling and stuff like that. I think it's really good. So arguments about grammar aside, I think this is well done, and I I I would if you're going for the friendly, less formal tone, I would stick with that. And that's a widow's peak. Oh, that's true. You can have the balding here. You keep the middle, but it goes balding in this side, so you do have that widow's peak. Yeah, that's true. So when you're talking about thinning hair, you could really get into it more describing it. And other than distant relationship is Viv, a sharp punk witch who takes the skinhead gangs by any means necessary. Okay. To me, author goddess, um, Alt Earth homepage. Okay, it sounds like this is very much a hidden universe, meaning you have the normal world, but then you have a hidden world where not everybody knows about the magic. Hey, Travis, welcome. And so, okay, exactly. Okay, because that's the vibe that I'm getting, especially because you're talking about, oh, where's that? Special research investigations. So, kind of like X Files. No, Tomorrowland. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Tomorrowland the movie. I'm thinking more of like Harry Potter and the or maybe more X Files vibe, where the truth is out there, but they still need to discover it. And you have Keith and Bob and Nicola, who are in this underworld, but um, not everybody is aware of it. And Dick, oh yes, Warehouse 13 is I love Warehouse 13. Eureka, Eureka. Mm, I okay. Warehouse 13, Eureka. Yes, definitely the librarians. Eureka was more just a collection of mad scientists run amok in a town. I wouldn't say that that's a hidden world, but I would say that that is a sci-fi. Whereas Warehouse 13 is definitely a more hidden world. Well, yeah, it is a hidden town. Yeah, I loved um, Eureka and Warehouse 13. The government lost it. Oh, they did? It's been a while since I've watched Eureka, but I have very fond memories of that show. Okay, lurk and work. Well, Travis, you are more than welcome to lurk and work. because that's what I do a lot, once or twice. Oh yeah, the cop, the yeah, yeah, that is fun. Okay, well, we really don't have enough time to get into another sprint before our uh, our time left before I need to head off for work. So we'll just kind of uh, leave it at that. So um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll just leave that. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone for being here, and it was a lot of fun. Wonderful articles. That excuse me. Wonderful articles. Okay, James, thank you for redeeming the guide the raid. We will be raiding Dinosaur Bob. Exactly the way that we the way that that thing is meant to do. So let me click the raid channel, and we have Dinosaur Bob. Clicking that. All right, he's starting his raid in about 3 minutes, I think, but usually that's because I usually go afterwards. Where were we going to? I hadn't even seen who was open. You jumped in there before I could even think about it. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone for being here this morning. I will be back tomorrow. Christmas Adam, because Adam came before Eve. Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Adam. Bad joke. All right, so I will be back tomorrow, December 23rd, for the last morning marches of the year. So I look forward. Tomorrow arrived for the dad joke. Yep. Okay, yeah, Isaac Tom is also up. And yes, so hi and goodbye. Yes, may the dad jokes ever be with you. So I will see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern, and happy time zone to everybody. Go out there, have a great day, and Merry Christmas. Bye, everyone.